Over Facts podcast is sponsored by our YouTube channel. Head over to the Feelings Over Facts Sports Podcast YouTube and give us a subscribe and a like. Welcome in to the Feelings Over Facts podcast. I'm your co-host, Zach Simmons, here with my co-host, Daniel Jones, a.k.a. DJ. DJ, how are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. How are you?
Feeling great. Little surprise off camera. There we are.
From out of nowhere.
We are back. We are back for yet another week of the Feelings Over Facts podcast. Thank you for everyone tuning in once again. I am sporting the West Ham United Jared Bowen jersey here. It's a little bit below frame, so can't really tell, but I am rocking the Hammers jersey. DJ has on his Braves shirt, so we are ready to rock and roll. If you are not yet subscribed to the Feelings Over Facts YouTube, head over there and give us a subscribe. We stream the podcast live every week, and you can head it on into the chat and drop in questions and comments, and we reply to all of those questions and comments live in the podcast. So you can do that, as well as head over to Instagram and TikTok and give us a follow and watch all of our shorts that we post on there. All right, DJ, let's go ahead and get right into what missed today's show. What missed today's show? Scotty Scheffler wins his second green jacket, takes home the Masters by 4 strokes. It was never really in doubt the final round. He kind of cruised to a victory there in the final round. Scotty Scheffler, congrats on second green jacket. Next on what missed today's show, Devontae Smith gets a 3-year, $75 million contract extension, $25 million a year, 53, I think it was, guaranteed. So Devontae Smith getting a big payday there for sure. And then finally, what missed today's show, CeeDee Lamb is rumored to be expected to hold out this offseason and not play until or join training camp until he receives a proper contract extension.
And I think that's why Philly went ahead and re-upped Devontae Smith. You know, the sooner you do it, the less you have to reset the market. So
exactly.
Great on by Philly's, front office.
Yep, for sure. Philly's is big on paying their players what they deserve, and also Justin Jefferson about to get a huge payday here shortly, I believe.
And I guess Jamar Chase too.
Yep, indeed. So that is what missed today's show. Transitioning. All right, DJ. The NBA regular season has concluded. It has come to an end. The NBA playoffs and play-in are set. The seeds are laid out. We have the full bracket in front of us. So this show is primarily going to be our NBA playoff predictions show, as well as we're going to be talking a little bit about the current state of the Premier League and kind of how we see that going rest of the season, and kind of with relegation and title hopes for a few teams. So DJ, let's just dive right into the NBA playoff bracket. Let me get that pulled up here. And I will read off the seeds. All right. Let me get that.
Well, in the
pulled
meantime,
up. All right. I believe I have it. Sorry about that. All right.
great dead time
Let's
space there too.
Yeah, and so let's go ahead and start with the play-in games. So in the Western Conference, the play-in games, the 9-10. So a little bit for anyone who's unfamiliar with the play-in games in the NBA, there are 4 teams in the play-in tournament. It is the 10, 9, 8, 7 seeds that finished the regular season for each sides of the bracket. The 9-10 play each other in a winner go home game, just straight up like one game, winner goes home, March Madness style. So then the 7-8. So that's a 9-10 that play that game. The 7-8 play each other. The winner of that gets the 7 seed, and they get to play the 2 seed in the first round of the playoffs. Loser of that plays the winner of the 9-10, and the winner of that game is a winner go home, gets the 8 seed for the NBA playoffs. So that's kind of how the plan works. So now that we have that laid out, the plan for the West is the 9-10 is the Kings Warriors. So that'll be a winner go home game on this upcoming Tuesday, tomorrow. And then the 7-8 is the Lakers versus the Pelicans. And then on the East, the 9-10 is the Bulls versus the Hawks. And then the 7-8 is the 76ers versus the Heat. So DJ, do we want to start in the West or the East? I'm really cool with either one. I say we just do play-in, playoffs, everything for one side, and then we go over and do the other side.
I say we go with the East first.
East first? Okay. Let's do that. You want me to go first, or you want to?
You can go ahead.
Okay. I will go ahead and go first with mine. So in the play-in for the East, I have that does matter for my first round matchups, obviously. I have the 76ers beating the Heat in the 7-8 game. So that would give the 76ers the 7 seed. And they would play the Knicks in the first round. And then I have the Bulls beating the Hawks. And then the Heat will play the Bulls for the 8 seed, and then I have the Heat winning that. So then the Heat will be the 8 seed against the Celtics. So that's how I have the Eastern Conference play-in going. And then from there, I have Boston Celtics in 4 over the Heat. I got the Celtics sweeping the Heat. I know that everyone's talking about playoff Jimmy, Jimmy Butler. They kind of just, it seems like the Heat just kind of disregard the, you see the fly flying around my head? You didn't? Okay. You probably think I'm just swiping at nothing. The Heat just seemingly, the Heat just seemingly disregard the regular season. It feels like every single year just to kind of go all out in the playoffs, and it's worked for them. It feels like every year everyone's doubting them come playoff time because they haven't done good in the regular season, and then they just pop off. Jimmy Butler goes from scoring like 18 points a game to like 28 points a game in the playoffs. Like, he just really amps up his game. I think this is the year that they really are just coming in unprepared. Their team isn't as good this year as it has been. They lost a few guys in free agency this past year, including Gabe Vincent. I think that the Celtics are going to sweep the Heat in the first round. I really think this is going to be the first round matchup, and I think the Celtics are just on an absolute mission this year. They are head and shoulders better than everyone in the East, and I think this is going to be a breeze of a first round matchup for them. I've got the Celtics in 4 over the Heat, so that means with the play-in tournament, I have the 76ers making it as the 7 seed. With beating the Heat in the first playing game. So that would give them a matchup with the New York Knicks, who got the 2nd seed, which is huge for the Knicks. This is like the highest they've ever been in the Eastern Conference. I feel like since the Patrick Ewing days. Like, it's been a long time since the Knicks have had this good of a record, it feels like, which is in large part due to Jalen Brunson, who's been just absolutely balling out, it feels like. So then I've got the 76ers in 6 over the New York Knicks. I think that with Joel Embiid back, being fully ready for this postseason, Maxey has been popping off this regular season. He's turned into a certified real star in this league. Like, I think Maxey is like a top probably 30 player in the NBA at this point. He's been absolutely balling. And I really like the 76ers team. I think they're set for a good playoff run. So I think that they are beating the Knicks in 6. That rhymes. Beating the Knicks in 6. 76ers over the Knicks. And then so that's my first upset of the Eastern Conference. And then let me know if anybody puts anything in the chat, DJ, because I am not.
Nick says playoff Jimmy will at least get one.
You think playoff Jimmy will at least get one? I mean, you could be right. I think, yeah. I mean, 4 or 5 feels about right for the Celtics over the Heat if they face each other in the first round. So, I mean, yeah, there is a chance that Jimmy could go off for just like 40, 45 and somehow will his team to at least one victory. But I can't see that happening over the course of a 7-game series. So, yeah, I've got Celtics in 4. It could definitely be 5. Next, I've got the Magic in 7 over the Cleveland Cavaliers, my second upset of the first round. This Magic team is young and they are good. The Cavs kind of limped into the playoffs. They did not end the season on a very good run. Donovan Mitchell was kind of in and out of the lineup, getting hurt off and on, coming to the close of the regular season. A lot of the chemistry with the team seemingly has kind of dissipated a little bit. I know this Cavs team is very talented, but this Magic team is just really, really impressed me this year. They defend really well, and then Banchero and Wagner 1-2 punch is a lot to handle. And I think over the course of a 7-game series, I think it's gonna be a long one. I got Magic in 7. I think this is gonna be a really good first round series, but I think the Magic edge them out and get the victory. Magic in 7. And then finally, my last matchup of the first round in the East, and then I'll let you go with your first round. I have the Indiana Pacers beating the Milwaukee Bucks in 6 in the first round. The Pacers are one of the few teams that it actually matches up with the Bucks really well. The Bucks want to they're kind of like the UConn of the NBA. They want to slow the game down. They want to use their size, and they want to play in the half court. But the Pacers are the opposite of that. The Pacers want to shoot as many shots as they can in the game. They think that if we shoot way more shots than you, then we have a better chance of winning. And they're really good at that. Halliburton can shoot the lights out. They're very good. They ended the season really well, whereas the Bucks ended the season extremely poorly. I couldn't tell if they were just ending the season bad because they didn't want to face the 76ers in the first round and get that 2 seed. So they just lost a bunch and got the 3 seed. Now they play the Pacers. I'm not really too sure. But I think with Giannis being questionable to start this series, I think that the Pacers can get it done in 6. So that's my first round of my Eastern Conference. Sorry for yapping for so long. I'll let you go ahead and take it away, DJ, with your first round.
Well, to first bring up the chat, Nick says, wow. I don't know what he's wowing, but he's saying wow.
Probably Pacers being the Bucks, if I had to imagine what he's wowing at.
I don't think it was that soon. So, or you didn't talk about it just yet. Anyway, so to be boring, I'm also going to put the 76ers in against the Knicks as the 7th seed. I think everybody's going to do that. It'd be a massive upset on epic proportions if the 76ers get beat by the Heat in the first round. I think the Sixers team is a better team than the Heat is. But, we never know on any given night. But for me, I'm going to go with the Sixers. The other playing game, I'm going to go with the Hawks. I don't know why, but I have a feeling that Atlanta's going to pull it out because Chicago loves to choke. And then the Heat will also beat the Hawks. And just like that, we'll pretty much have the same Eastern side, you and me personally. Yeah. So, 1 seed versus 8 seed. So that'd be Heat versus Celtics. I'm going to go Celtics in 6. I think that our teams, the Celtics, is a little deeper this year. I feel like this is a year that they can really make a run for it, and they've looked primed to do that. They've had some hiccups in there in the regular season, which means you have adversity. So I can see us, coming out, and I say us because I am a Celtics fan. I can see us coming out and playing really well in the playoffs, especially this first round. Anybody that is going to beat a 1 seed as the 8 seed would be the Heat again, but I don't foresee that happening again. I think people are going to take the Heat seriously. So Celtics move on to the second round. I'm going to go with the Sixers as well, getting upset by the Knicks, because I think everybody knows that the Sixers team can get hot. And it's about getting hot at the right time. The basketball is a game of runs and streaks, and how hot can you stay in the end of the season and in this playoff run. This is the second part of the season, really. For me, besides Brunson, I think the Knicks are just kind of there. They have some other good players, and they're not a bad team, but them as a 2 seed just seems too perfect. Like it's New York. New York, they're gonna let them down. That's just what they do. This is I am coming after New York. Sorry, Joey. So that's my decision on that one, Joey. You can drop me later.
Yeah.
And
so you got 76ers over Knicks as well.
Yes.
Okay.
And now I'm going to go to the 3-6 matchup between the Bucks and the Pacers. I'm going to go with the Bucks. I think that they're going to, be able to handle whatever the Pacers throw at them. Plus, this Pacers team is too young. I don't foresee them being able to get past a veteran-led Bucks team who have been there before and have, Giannis and Middleton, and then you have Dame this year. I think this team's just too veteran-led and have been there before. I know they haven't looked great, but there's never a better time to get on a hot streak than now. And I do think that they could pull this together and go on a little bit of a run here. So
yeah,
I'm going Bucks against the Pacers, and I'll say that one in. I haven't been saying the games except for the first one. So Knicks Sixers, I'll go in 6. Bucks Pacers, I'll go in 5. I think everybody gets one playoff win at least. And then I think Cleveland actually sweeps the Magic 4-0. I think this Magic team's just too young, too inexperienced, doesn't know exactly how it's going to look in a big playoff atmosphere. I could be completely wrong. I could be reading this team completely differently than the actuality of this team. But I really do like Donovan Mitchell. I like this team around him in Cleveland. They stay healthy. I think they can make a run. So I'm going Cleveland in 4.
Gotcha. I like that. So looks like we're the same in the Celtics 76ers matchups, and then we're opposite. We're opposite in our Magic Pacers Cavs Bucks series.
Yes.
So I like that. Some diversity. All right. So we'll go ahead and go with the second round. I will go with so you got the. Sorry, I kind of glossed over that. You have the Cavs sweeping the Magic.
Yep.
You think that the Cavs are that good?
I think the Magic are just that inexperienced.
Yeah. They do kind of feel like that team where the teams they take steps, like the T-Wolves last year. They made the playoffs and then they just got annihilated. Like this year, they make the playoffs and then they want to actually go somewhere. It kind of feels like the Magic, they are just happy to be in the playoffs. But I've watched a few of their games, and I actually really like this Magic team. I think that they can give the Cavs a run for their money, and I actually really like them. I've got Magic in 7, so we'll see which one of us is right about that one. Okay, second round. So I have the Celtics facing the Magic and the 76ers facing the Pacers. And then I have the Celtics sweeping the Magic. So back-to-back sweeps for the Celtics over in 4 over the Heat and then in 4 over the Magic. I think that this is kind of where the Magic's run comes to an end. I think that they get a very emotional victory and beating the Cavs in the first round, and then they come and run into a buzzsaw in the second round. And the Celtics just dispatch of them. And then I've got the 76ers in 7 over the Pacers. I think that Joel Embiid's size and skill is going to be too much for the Pacers. And I've got the 76ers advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals with a matchup against the Celtics. So that's my Eastern Conference second round. On to you,
Well,
DJ.
it's going to be really hard for me not to sound like a huge homer when it comes to Celtics right now. But I have them also going to the second round, but I have them winning in 6. It's the NBA. Everybody's going to have good games, bad games. It happens. I don't think the Celtics are going to go unbeaten in the first 2 rounds. This team just loves to choke at random times or throw the game away, a.k.a. Jason Tatum turns the ball over too much in crunch time games, and it's happened consistently. So I imagine it's going to happen at some point in the series, both series. Then I'm going Bucks over Sixers. Like I said, I think this team
Bucks over Sixers.
I think the Bucks can get hot at the right time, and I can see Dame taking over a series. I can see Joel Embiid not being 100% and still having some fatigue, regardless of him playing whenever he comes back. Actually, officially, I mean, is he even going to be back for the playing game? Have they announced that yet?
Joel Embiid.
Yeah,
he is. He was playing in the regular season.
Was he? I haven't been paying attention to the Sixers. I'll be honest.
Yeah, he was playing. He played like 3 or 4 regular season games before the season ended.
Well, there you go. I really honestly haven't been paying attention.
They ended the season on like an 8-game win streak or something. Probably
sounds about right. I still think that the Bucks can win that series. That one's going 7 though.
Bucks over 76ers in 7.
Yeah, I have Bucks over 76ers in 7.
Gotcha. And then you had Celtics versus the Cavs, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming you have Celtics in that.
I already said that.
Oh, how many games?
6. I also said that too.
Okay, my bad.
You're good.
Trying to put it in the chat to keep our viewers informed with what we're picking. Okay, so Bucks over 76ers in 7 you got, and then Celtics over Cavs in 6. Okay, so the Cavs giving the Celtics a little bit of a series. I like that. All right, on to our Eastern Conference Finals. I have, I guess this would probably be my biggest upset of the Eastern Conference Finals. I've got 76ers in 6 over the Boston Celtics. No real rhyme or reason for this pick. The Celtics have been absolutely incredible against the 76ers this year. But I think that this is the time when the 76ers get it done. I think they have to get it done in 6, though. If it goes to 7 back in Boston, I think that is going to spell difficult for the 76ers. I just think that Joel Embiid is going to manhandle Kristaps in this series. And I think he's just going to be too much. I mean, we haven't seen a Joel Embiid heading into the playoffs with this much rest. Like, I know he was injured, but he's also been resting. And I think that could really be a good thing for Joel. I think that Joel Embiid, it could be a situation like what we saw with Anthony Davis a few years ago when the Lakers made their run. Anthony Davis never had that much rest for a big guy who has injury problems heading into the playoffs. Whenever the Lakers won their championship, if you remember correctly, they had like a month off because of COVID before the playoff run to have AD rest, and he was just an absolute monster that entire run. And I think that could be a similar situation of what we're seeing with Joel Embiid. So I've got the 76ers in 6 over the Boston Celtics heading to the NBA Finals. And that wraps up my Eastern Conference.
Well, I'm going Celtics over Bucks. I think that we finally get back to the finals, get the job done finally. You know, last year was kind of a little bit of a disappointment not making it to the finals after the year prior to that. So I think this is the year the Celtics could take a title home. Honestly, okay. This is a pretty complete team. And as long as Jason Tatum takes care of the ball and they all stay healthy, like if, Kristaps stays healthy too, I don't see many, big hiccups. Just take care of the ball, play good defense, score like they have been. We're fine.
Yeah, I mean they've been amazing the entire season. How many games do you think for the belt?
That one, I do think that the Bucks can push them to like 6. So I'm going to say 6.
Okay. Nick says Zach loves a good Cinderella story. The 76ers really aren't even a Cinderella story. If Joel Embiid was healthy the entire season, I would expect the 76ers to be probably the 2 or 3 seed. So they're not like they're not like an actual 7 seed in my mind.
That's why I don't trust the Knicks as a 2 seed. Like they're there because they've stayed consistent enough and less injured than most of the rest of the league. Am I wrong by that? I don't think I am. I think I think they're kind of a faulty 2.
Yeah, their only real injury loss has been Julius Randle, who they lost right at the end of the year. And even he hasn't been that good for them. So
he hasn't been good since he won his like comeback player of the year award or whatever it was. I don't even remember. Yeah. So like that, and like Jalen Brunson can come out here and just shut me up and just ball out, beat the Sixers in this scenario if the Sixers do make it, because we still have to play the playing games. Don't forget that. Yeah. He can come out here and shut my mouth and absolutely ball out, and I would be completely wrong and look like have the biggest egg on my face. I just don't trust the rest of that. Like Jalen Brunson, give him credit. That man has been awesome ever since he got signed.
Madison Square Garden is going to be freaking hopping for this Knicks team.
Yes, but I don't see them getting past the first round because they are who they are. It's the Knicks. It's not. I don't hate the Knicks because they're a division rival for the Celtics. I have no ill will towards the Knicks. I have no ill will towards New York. Everybody tells me how great it is. Haven't been yet, but that's a bucket list thing. Yeah. But I just don't. I don't feel what I think I'm supposed to feel for a 2 seed where they're with their team right now. That's it. That is the only qualm I have with the Knicks right now.
Yeah, that's true. We will see. It'll be really interesting to see who they face in the first round. I really do think it's going to be the 76ers, which will be a tough test for them. That would be an unfortunate draw for them. Nick says Brunson has been playing on an MVP level lately. Not many can stop him. Yeah, that's true. But Maxey is a really, really good defender. He's really quick, and I think that he can really stay with Brunson. He'll be a good matchup for him.
I mean, he's literally averaging.
Brunson is a bucket. There's no denying that. He's gonna get his.
He's averaging 29 points a game this season. So like,
yeah, he's been incredible. He's been I would not say he's a top 5 player in the NBA, but he's been playing as one for sure. That's undeniable. So it'll be interesting to see. This Knicks team's got a lot of hype going into the playoffs, being the 2 seed. All right, let's shift over to the Western Conference final, or Western Conference side. This side, in my opinion, this side's more interesting than the East.
It is. That's why I said let's do the East first. Let's just get out of the way.
Yeah, I think that there's more teams that have a chance to. We'll just say what we've got. I don't want to spoil my stuff, but yeah. All right, I went first on the East, so let's have you go first on the West.
All right, so if we're going playing games, first playing game. It is the matchup of the Pelicans and the Lakers. I'm pretty sure that starts tomorrow night, right? Yeah, tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think both. Maybe both.
Both West games are tomorrow night, and then both East games are Wednesday. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with the Lakers here. They've been too hot, and the Pelicans just haven't looked that great there to end the season. Losing the chance to just not have to play in the playing tournament, not a great look. You kind of needed to win that last game of the season, and you didn't get it done. And you let the Suns, who have also not looked great, jump you. So I'm going to go with the Lakers to be the 7th seed and play the Nuggets in the first round. Then the second playing game in the West. This one's tough because the Warriors have been a pretty hot team, but I still remember what Sacramento was looking like last year. I could still see them being that same, like, just good basketball team that just kind of comes out of nowhere and just competes.
It was a great series last year.
It was. And I love that I love De'Aaron Fox. Sabonis is a great player. Murray is also a great player. It's a fun basketball team to just watch a good basketball win. That being said, I'm still going to go with what am I saying? Golden State to get to the next round of the play-in and to play the Pelicans, and I have them being the 8th seed. I have the Warriors going to play the 8th seed and go up to OKC to play the 1 seed. Which, hey, how about OKC? Shout out to that young basketball team and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's up for MVP voting, in my opinion. I don't know if he's actually going to win it, but like just based on how he's played this year,
Yeah,
unbelievable
I think
bucket
he'll get
getter.
third. I think he'll get third behind Jokic and Luka.
That's probably fair. I don't disagree with that. But I just want to give Shai some love. All right, so for the 1 seed versus 8 seed, so I got I'm gonna have the Thunder getting upset by the 8 seed Warriors in 7.
Wow.
I could see that happening so badly, unfortunately, because I do like this OKC Thunder team. It's such a fun team. They're so deep. They're so young. They're doing it right.
They are.
But you cannot count out Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, who's starting to turn up a little bit, and the things that they have around them as well. So I think experience gets them on this one. I like experience a little bit more than youth, if you can't tell.
Yeah.
So 2 seed Denver Nuggets, the defending world champions, hosting the 7 seed LA Lakers. I'm going to go with the Nuggets in 6. I think this team is just too good. Jokic is too good. It's too hard to contain. Yes, you got to give LeBron and the Lakers credit for doing what they did at the end of the season, for going on this great run and playing unbelievable basketball. But the Nuggets are defending champs for a reason, and they were competing for the 1 seed for a reason near the end of the season. So I could see them winning in 6. 3 seed Minnesota versus 6 seed Phoenix Suns. I'm going to go with Minnesota because honestly, the Suns just haven't looked that viable of an option this year. I feel like they just had too many injuries, too many just distractions. Not like anybody getting kicked off the team, like kicked off the technical foul, dejected, anything like that. But it just seems like there's too much distraction, too much, pushing and shoving on the court. It just doesn't seem like a good cohesive team. When you put them together, it's an entertaining roster. But I'm going to go with the young gun, Anthony Edwards, and this Minnesota team. I think they win in 7. I think it's going to be close.
Yeah.
Because you still have to give respect to Book and KD and Beal. Yeah. Now, this next series, this is the tough one. I think this is the toughest first-round series, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you it's going to 7. And I'm going with Dallas.
Okay.
I think this is going to be the most entertaining series out of the first round. And this is what you want to see in a 4 and a 5, because this is how close these teams are. I just think that Luka and Kyrie are just playing on a different level compared to, and
hot.
They are. And you can't disrespect the Clippers. I do think that Kawhi and Paul George are still great players, but they really haven't done anything as a team in a very long time. They could easily, shut my mouth as well and ride a big wave of momentum into the next round of playoffs and come out of this series, because I really don't know who's coming out of the series. It's just why I have a feeling that the Mavericks are going to do it. So I'm going Mavs.
Yeah, that one's going to be a close one. It's close to even money, I think, for the series.
That wouldn't shock me.
Okay. I like it. So you've got Warriors in 7 over Thunder, Nuggets in 6 over the Lakers, T-Wolves in 7 over the Suns, and Mavs in 7 over the Clippers.
And the reason why it's all those games, because the West is so competitive. Like, I definitely can see 5 or 6 teams that could go on a run in the West and make it to the Western Conference Finals and have a chance to go to the finals. Like, this is going to be tough to predict.
Yeah, for sure. It could be a crazy Western side of the NBA Finals this year. Or the NBA playoffs this year, no doubt. All right, I like it. All right, for my West in the play-in, I also have the exact same setup as you. I think that you're spot on. I've got the Lakers handling the Pelicans pretty easily. That if AD is healthy, I know he had a little bit of a back injury at the end of the last game of the season. So if he's healthy and ready to go and fully fit, I think the Lakers should not struggle with the Pelicans, and they'll get the 7 seed. And then I have the Warriors beating the Kings and then the Pelicans in back-to-back games. I think that we saw that this Warriors team has had one of the best records in the NBA in the back half of the season. They are by no means an actual 10 seed, and I think that they are going to easily beat the Kings, and then I think it'll be close, but they'll beat the Pelicans in the second game of the play, and then they'll get the 8 seed. And then after that, so I've got the Lakers being the 7 facing the Nuggets, and I've got the Warriors being the 8 facing the Thunder. So then in the Western Conference, or in the Western first round, I've got the Thunder in 7 over the Warriors. I think that this is one of the few matchups where we're going to see youth outlast experience. I think that this Thunder team is youthful. They are young for this spot, but they're just so darn good. They're just so good. Like SGA is a 100% a top 5 player in the NBA, and they defend so well. They defend the 3 really well, and that is the primary thing that the Warriors do. And I think that the Thunder are going to take out the Warriors, not easily. It's going to be in 7, but I got the Thunder in 7 over the Warriors. Nick saying it will be good for the media if the Warriors and Lakers make it through the play-in. Yes, it will, for sure. I mean, the NBA wants Steph Curry and LeBron James in the playoffs for sure. That's going to drive up ratings. So any way that they can make that happen, wink, wink, they're going to make that happen. So yeah, Thunder in 7 over the Warriors. Then I've got Mavs in 5 over the Clippers. I'm not as sold on the Clippers as much as you are. I think that Kawhi, I mean, we haven't seen Kawhi play a 7-game series in years. That's just the fact. That's just the fact of the matter. And I don't think it's going to start this year. And if Kawhi is not fully ready, then the Clippers stand no chance against the Mavericks. The Mavericks are the hottest team in the NBA right now. They are coming into the playoffs absolutely balling. I think that if they were given the choice to be able to play the Nuggets immediately to go to the NBA Finals at this very moment, because of how hot they are, they'd be like, yes, sign us up for that. Because that's how hot the Mavs are. Luka is I think Jokic is going to win it, but Luka should be the MVP in my eyes. What he's done, averaging 32, 9, and 9 this season. Like, are you kidding me? He is just been an absolute monster. Luka Doncic is incredible. I think he's going to carve up this LA Clippers team. Mavs in 5 over the Clippers, and then I have Suns in 6 over the T-Wolves. I know that the T-Wolves are exceptional in defense, the best defensive team in the NBA. Probable. I mean, according to the odds, probable defensive player of the year, Rudy Gobert. Even though I think Wemby should win it, and he has a chance to win it. Been absolutely amazing. The only thing that's holding him back from winning defensive player of the year is the Spurs were just atrocious this season. So, I've got Suns in 6 over the T-Wolves. I think they're just going to be able to score against them. I think with KD, Beal, and Booker, they're going to be able to put up points. And if you can put up points on the T-Wolves, if you can score on them, you can beat them. So I've got Suns in 6 over the T-Wolves. And then, sadly, I've got Nuggets in 5 over the Lakers. I said last week that nobody's beaten this Nuggets team in a 7-game series. They're too good, man. Jokic is just... he's a monster. He's just incredible. And the Lakers have not beaten the Nuggets in the past 2 years, including playoffs and regular season. So I don't foresee that, even though, I mean, that LeBron just can't carry a team anymore like he used to. And unless they're getting just a superstar performance out of Anthony Davis against Jokic defensively, I can't see this Lakers team beating the Nuggets. So I've got Nuggets in 5 over the Lakers. That is my first round.
All righty.
On to the second round of the Western Conference, DJ.
Well, I'm going to just pick it up where we left it off in the highest seed I have left, which is the Nuggets. And that monster you were talking about, Jokic just wants to go home after the season and play and hang out with his horses. And that's all he wants to do. And that's all he's going to do, because he's going to beat the T-Wolves in, I'm going to say 5. I think that actually, no, I'll get 6. We'll say 6. Sorry, 6. We'll go with 6. I do think that this Nuggets team is for real and a very high contender for back-to-back title runs. Not out of the question at all. So I'm going Nuggets in 6. Then I'm going to go with the Mavs in, let's say, 7 against Golden State. I think Luka and Kyrie's going to get this Mavs team to the Western Conference Finals. Past that, it's gonna be a little dicey, but I do see this team being one of the better and more fun teams to watch in the playoffs right now. So I'm going Mavs in 7 over Golden State.
Gotcha. I like it. I am going to go for my second round. I have the Mavs as well, beating the Oklahoma City Thunder is who I had making it through that 1-8 matchup. Mavs in 6 over the Thunder. I think that this is where we kind of see the youth of the Thunder take over, and they're just not ready for the skill and veteran play that it's going to take to be able to beat this Dallas Mavericks team. I really like the Mavs. I think that if you're looking for a long shot, like decently long shot, like 5th or 6th odds to win the NBA Finals, I think the Mavs are a great shout, honestly. And then I've got Nuggets in 5 over the Suns. Not a lot to say about that matchup. I think the Nuggets are just better than the Suns. I think that shooting is not enough to beat this Nuggets team, and I got the Nuggets in 5 over the Suns. Jokic is going to average 38, 15, and 11 in that series against the Suns. He's going to absolutely eat them up. So then we've got our Western Conference Finals. To you, DJ.
I'm going to go Nuggets to repeat as Western Conference champs and go to the finals for a second year in a row. As much as I do like the Mavs as well, which definitely means they're getting beat in the first round because we both have them in our Western Conference Finals. I hope everybody else knows that. So they probably should fade us because that's what happens on this podcast.
Yeah,
but I'm going with
not wrong.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Makes us look like complete idiots. But hey, we're fun idiots to listen to. Which, by the way, if you're not subscribed already, I don't know what you're doing, but you should hit the subscribe button.
How many? I've also got Nuggets over Mavs, but I've got Nuggets over Mavs in 7. I think it's going to be a series like for.
I have them in 5.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah. So I think this is going to be the best series of the NBA playoffs. Denver versus Dallas in the Western Conference Finals. I think that these are the 2 best teams in the West heading into the playoffs. I think that if the Nuggets can find a way to slow down Luka, that they are going to be able to win this series pretty easily. But I don't think they're going to find a way to slow him down. So I've got the Nuggets winning the series in 7 on their home court to go back to the NBA Finals for the 2nd straight year. All right, so that is our NBA playoff predictions leading up to the NBA Finals. So I have Nuggets versus 76ers, and DJ has the Nuggets versus Celtics, correct?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, I will go first with mine. I have the Denver Nuggets beating the Philadelphia 76ers in 6 in Philadelphia to repeat as NBA champions. I said it last week. I will say it again now. Nobody's beaten this Denver team in a 7-game series. Jokic he's unlike any player that we've honestly ever seen in the NBA. He plays so controlled and so methodical, just like old man ball. Like he doesn't get more but like 3 inches off the floor on any given game, but he just finds a way. Like he makes the game look so easy that it's just demoralizing to the other team. And I think that Joel Embiid versus Jokic is going to be, if my prediction comes true, an absolutely incredible NBA Finals that I would love to see. And I've got Nuggets in 6 over the 76ers to win the NBA Finals.
It would be easy for me just to sit here and say Denver's going to repeat.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a man that likes to take the easy road. I'm going Celtics in 7.
Celtics in 7.
Celtics in 7.
They would have home court advantage. So that would
Celtics
be in Boston.
Celtics in 7. We've raised another banner.
Wow. Jalen or Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown finally get it done.
Indeed.
It would be something to see.
We needed we needed a defensive presence in the inside, and Kristaps Porzingis has been that this year for us for the most part. So I don't see why we couldn't, steal a game or two there in Denver, and then bring it back to Boston, and it's over.
There we go. All right, that is our full NBA playoff predictions. DJ, I'm going to create a graphic sometime before the play-in starts that shows all of our predictions, and I'm going to make a post. And we are going to be held to these predictions like it is life or death. And people will either roast us or be very nice to us in the comments. Yes, exactly. All right, cool. So there's our full NBA predictions. Feel free to put your predictions in the comments and in the chat, and we can comment on that. We can talk about where we disagree, where we agree, and yeah. All right, DJ. Before we go to our bets of the week, I wanted to kind of do a little Premier League talk before we head to the bets of the week. Let me get the standings pulled up here.
So while we're creating dead space real quick, I have to tell you some news. Apparently, with all of for those that watched the Chelsea-Everton game today, you saw that there was some pushing and shoving for a penalty when you're up 4-0. Pochettino has said that everybody who was a part of that is not going to play next week. So that's half your FPL team.
He said that if he sees it again, he's taking them out of the game, is what he said.
Maybe. I was hoping it might be that they're out next week.
How I interpreted the quote was he said if that happens again, he's immediately taking them out, was what I heard. But yeah, I mean, he could say that he's sitting them out. I don't know. I mean, they're playing Arsenal, so it's not like they were going to do much anyway next week. But that would be unfortunate.
By the way, going back to the chat real quick, Nick says quote unquote doesn't like to take the easy road. Takes team with best record, best regular season record. Lol. With that being said, I also have Celtics too. Lol.
It's hard. I mean, the Celtics have been so dominant in the regular season that it's just so hard to go against them in this postseason. But I think that if anybody can get it done, it's going to be Joel Embiid. He just has to stay healthy, man. I think he can do it. I really do.
We'll see.
All right, so pulling up the Premier League table.
We have not talked Prem in a while.
We have not. I mean, I'm sporting my Premier League jersey at the moment, so it's only fitting to.
And he's not even a West Ham fan, so cringe.
Jared Bowen fan, though.
Okay, there you go.
All right, let's talk relegation battle first before we talk who we think is going to win the title. So currently, bottom three, the three teams that just got promoted: Sheffield, Burnley, and Luton. Then you have next two that are right above them: Everton, who's in this position because of the point deductions, and then Nottingham Forest. So Everton's at 27 points. Forest is at 26. Luton is at 25. And then Burnley and Sheffield are kind of much lower than that at 20 and 16. So how I kind of see it, it's kind of a three-team race on relegation. Sheffield and Burnley, in my mind, 100% going to get relegated. They don't have the quality. They can't stop you from scoring. They can't score goals. They play
each other this next week, though.
That's true.
And if Luton loses again, Burnley could catch some ground.
They could, yeah.
I'm not saying it's likely. I'm not saying it's likely. I'm just saying they could.
Yeah, that's very true. So yeah, Burnley and Sheffield are the two that are in last and second to last. Those are the two that I think are locks to get relegated. And then Luton, Forest, and Everton are all within 2 points of each other, 27, 26, 25. I I really think it's going to be a 3-up, 3-down situation. I think that Luton are going to stay in that 18th spot. They're going to get relegated. They have, besides Sheffield, they have some pretty tough matchups coming up here soon. And that's kind of how I see the relegation going the rest of the season. I think Forest and Everton have kind of at times shown good segments of the season where they were able to string a couple games in a row without losing. But I don't foresee Luton being able to do that the rest of the season. So I've got Luton, Burnley, and Sheffield being relegated. That's kind of how I see that going. What about you, DJ?
Well, talking about just matchups real quick, like I said, Burnley plays Sheffield this next weekend. Everton play Nottingham Forest. What a massive game that is for points. Not in the relegation zone at the moment, but Luton's just one win away from being out of that spot. And like you said, Luton does have some tough matchups, to end the season. Actually, you know what? I actually like Luton to get out. I'm going Everton going down. After what I saw today, they look terrible. They're going to be there's going to be an added team to have bad. Or a subtracted team to teams that have never been relegated. And they're going to be the most recent relegation team. Luton's they played a fun brand of football. Let's be honest here. It's a fun time to watch them play. If you're just a fan of soccer or football, wherever you are, I really want Luton to stay up, and I also wouldn't mind Nottingham Forest staying up, mainly because one, they have Giovanni Reina, USA. Let's go all the way.
There you go.
And like you said, Nottingham Forest have actually looked all right in certain games. Keeping like a point or two, getting a point or two recently. Didn't look great against Tottenham the other weekend, but Tottenham's a top 16 most years, so not that surprising. They're Nottingham Forest has probably got the hardest match of all those teams. Has the hardest matchup with Man City and Chelsea remaining in their schedule. They have Everton, Sheffield, and Burnley. They can beat all those teams. They can get points out of those teams. So not impossible. I see Everton. The rest of their remaining schedule is what? They play Nottingham Forest, like I said, this next weekend. They got Liverpool, Brentford. They're playing Luton. They're playing Sheffield, and then they play Arsenal.
Yep.
Maybe Luton, maybe Sheffield, and Nottingham Forest are the only games I can see them getting points in the rest of the season.
Yep. The only thing with having Everton go down is with the current points set up, they have played one less game than Forest, Luton, and Burnley.
So they have a game in hand, yes.
Exactly. So that is an advantage to them with the current standings. That's why they play twice this next game week.
Yes, they have a double game week.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
I'm calling my shot right here. Let me cook. Everton's going down.
All right, yeah, that would be the first season they've ever been out of the Premier
relegated.
League.
They were the top tier because it was not always called the Premier League back in the day.
Yep. Interesting. That would be so funny to see Everton go down, honestly. All right. Jake said he's taking Jake said in the comments, Everton have a game in hand. Yes, I did see that you said that, Jake. All right, DJ, let's talk title contenders now on who we think could potentially win the Premier League title. I'll let you go ahead and go first. I have a feeling I know who you're going to say is going to win it, or at least who you hope wins it.
No, the team's going to win. It's going to be City. The team I want it to win is Arsenal. That game against Villa, how we choked that away. Yeah, we're not going to win the title, not the Premier League title. If we're doing that against a team like Villa, there's no offense towards Villa, they're top 4, but like if we're aspiring to be Premier League champs, that's a game you have to win or at least get a point out of. We had it all in our hand. It was all the decision was in our hand. Liverpool got upset by Crystal Palace in the same weekend, and we completely just fumble the bag and give up 2 goals. Look like complete and utter trash. Yeah, we had some good opportunities, but like our defense, which is supposed to be amazing, they also gave up a good amount of opportunities to Villa, and it's just not a good feeling right now for as an Arsenal fan, looking at the remaining games in our schedule, if you want to talk about just Arsenal specifically, not including Champions League, because we're still in that bad boy. We have Wolves and Chelsea this next week. Then we got Tottenham, Bournemouth, United, and Everton. That's not an easy schedule. And compare it to what City's got left the rest of the remaining schedule. Chelsea, Brighton, Forest, Wolves, Fulham, Spurs, and West Ham. I'd take their schedule over our schedule any day, personally.
Yeah. The thing Arsenal have going for them, though, is they do have a considerable goal difference on Man City, which is good if it comes down to that.
Yes, but that means we need Man City to drop some points somewhere, which I don't think they're going to. They're City. They don't do that very often. They literally have 3 losses on the season.
Yeah, very true.
And we also can't take Liverpool out of the conversation just yet either. I know they have not looked great. That loss against Crystal Palace was abysmal. Yeah, that is not a Jurgen Klopp team that usually does what happened this last weekend.
Yeah, this last game week could be the week that we look back when City are crowned champions and say that was the week that they won it. Yes. Honestly, because there's a very real possibility that that these teams, all 3 of them, could not lose a game. The rest, they could draw and win the rest of the season out. All 3 of them. That's a very realistic possibility.
City could still win the treble.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're probably favored to do so, but favored to do so. I mean, they're probably favored in all 3 tournaments to win it. I would say
they get past Real Madrid first. If they get past Real Madrid, I may agree with you on that.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. That's this Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe. That the second leg of that is
Wednesday.
I said it last week or 2 weeks ago, and I'm gonna stick with it. I do truly believe that Liverpool are going to win the title in Klopp's last season. It's going to be a fairy tale ending for their all-time great manager. I don't know how they're going to do it. City's going to have to stumble somehow. But if they do, I really do believe that Liverpool, they're getting all their players healthy. Trent is back. They're getting Jota back. They're having their attacking depth. I think that Liverpool is getting healthy at the right time, and they could seriously go on and win the title. They just need City and Arsenal to slip up at some point. So I don't know how they're going to do it, but that's what I'm going with. I think Liverpool is going to take it home and be crowned Premier League champions. So that is what I am going with. All right, that is our Premier League relegation and title predictions for the rest of the season. All right, DJ, let's go ahead and jump into our the most profitable segment in all of sports, the feelings over facts bets of the week.
Bets of the week.
There we go. I need to record that and make a little drop on my on my soundboard here. I'll go ahead and go first with mine. Mine are all NBA in season or not in season. Play-in tournament. There we go. Bets.
We can't talk today, I swear.
Yeah. All right. First bet. Lakers money line. It's minus 120, I believe.
110.
110. Okay, so pretty much a pick 'em against the Pelicans. Little caveat, this is if Anthony Davis is healthy, and he's going to play. The Lakers just beat the Pelicans in pretty much the same exact scenario with like playoff implications. I think that they are just a better team. LeBron James is not showing any signs of aging. He's honestly just playing as good right now as he has at any point in the last like 5 years. It's kind of crazy to see. I think the Lakers are just a better team than the Pelicans. I think that they're going to beat them here. It's in New Orleans. Warriors minus 2.5 versus the Kings is my next bet. I think that the Warriors have really found their 3-point groove lately. Their 2018 prime Warriors 3-point mojo, and they're coming up against the Kings at the right time. The Kings are without Malik Monk, who is one of their best bench players, and I think that the Warriors are going to get it done here. And so both road teams in the play-in tournament getting the dub. So Warriors -2.5. And then my last bet is Philadelphia -4.5 against the Heat. I think that this is kind of where we see the playoff Heat is gonna show up, but I think that they are way too undersized and undermanned to beat this Philadelphia team. I think that this is going to be a Tyrese Maxey game. I think that Tyrese Maxey could have 35, maybe 40 points in this game. I think he's going to go absolutely crazy. Philly -4.5 is my last bet of the week.
All righty. Well, I didn't go all NBA, but I did go one. I also went Lakers money line because I like to pick them.
There we go.
And also I had them in my playoff bracket anyway, so might as well double down. My second bet of the week, I'm going to the Champions League because I'm not boring and went with the same sport. I'm kidding, no. I'm going with Arsenal money line over Bayern Munich. I have seen what Bayern Munich's injury report is looking like. It's not looking great. Arsenal's got to do something at some point to be if we're going to call ourselves a big boy club, this is the time to do so.
There you go.
So I have Arsenal going to Munich and upsetting Bayern Munich. And then the last one, a little bit of I'm going against the Predators tonight. Predators play their last game, nothing really to play for. Kind of just stay out, get some work in for some guys, but stay healthy. For the most part, the team they are playing is the Pittsburgh Penguins. I do not like the Pittsburgh Penguins, but
hate the Penguins.
The Penguins are playing for a wild card spot still. The last wild card spot in the Eastern Conference is still up for grabs. I have the Penguins 1.5 goal line.
Okay.
This week, if it's my bets of the week, because they have a game in hand. They have 2 games left. Pittsburgh does. So they're trying their hardest to get up as fast as possible and just hold the lead. So I could see them winning by 2 goals, mainly because the Predators don't have anything to play for. Just stay healthy. You're not going to move in any seedings. That's my bets of the week.
Yeah, probably rest some guys. That makes sense. I like it. That would be a huge Arsenal win. That would be massive. All right, now time for our feelings of the week. I'll go ahead and go first with mine. A little bit of a somber feeling of the week, kind of in my feels with this one. Recently, a very famous LeBron James quote came out where he said he doesn't have much time left. If you know anything about me, you know I'm a huge LeBron fan. I've been a fan of him ever since he has come into the NBA, and I've been faithful to rooting for him ever since. He's been my favorite player. Still is my favorite player. But he's retiring soon. So that means that my NBA fan fandom, I will be a NBA fan free agent. And I will be up for signing for whatever team or player wants me. So I'm going to leave this up to our faithful viewers. So we'll see who, let me know in the comments who should be my next team or player that I root for. Right now, I am leaning towards Luka Doncic because after LeBron, he's probably my favorite player to watch in the NBA. And I don't really have any team that I'm super affiliated with, not any team that I grew up really close to. I guess the closest would probably, honestly, the Hawks were closer than the Grizzlies were to us when we were growing up. But not really. It's about what, 3 hours to Atlanta? Like 4.5 to Memphis?
It's 3 hours to Memphis, 4 to Atlanta. From Nashville? Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I thought Memphis was further than that. But I could be wrong. Or maybe I should just give up on following a single player and just root for the Grizzlies since they're a Tennessee team. I don't know. That's why I'm in my feels this week, DJ. Is LeBron's career is coming to a close and he's retiring soon. I got to figure out who I'm going to be rooting for next. So that's my feeling of the week.
Nick said, just pick a team, please, not a player. So you're already having some input. So there you go. Pick a team.
I like input.
Actually, give your heart to a team and let them just crush you a couple times, but still stay. even if it's not healthy. It does you good.
Okay.
Promise you. My feeling of the week is not as somber and not as depressing. I would say that I cannot stand the NBA play-in tournament is my feel of the week. I think is the dumbest thing ever. Let's just go back to the original 8. And the reason why I said this is look at the Eastern Conference standings. The 9 and 10 seed in the East should not be playing for a playoff spot. This is absolutely ridiculous. I think it's just another way for them to try and make more money and have more meaningful games. Just stop. Like, you're just basically saying, like, just try. Like, the 10th seed's basically like how in high school football in Tennessee, if you're 0-10, you can still make the playoffs, which I think is also ridiculous. Let's knock that crap off. Let's actually make the games matter in the regular season a little bit more. Let's stop this play-in tournament. They won't. They make too much money off of it, but I think it's dumb. That's my feeling of the week.
Fair enough. I respect it. I kind of see the value in the play-in tournament, but I guess I can also see your viewpoint where it's been the same way for like 50 years. No reason to mess up a good thing, you know.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
There you go. Sponsored by DJ's Feeling of the Week. All right. Thank you for listening to the Feelings Over Facts podcast. I'm your co-host, Zach Simmons. He is my co-host, Daniel Jones, a.k.a. DJ. Thank you for listening.
Nick's feeling of the week is 1 week away from the draft. Sorry, last one.
Yes, sir. Tune in next week for our first round mock draft. We're gonna have that was our very first Feelings Over Facts episode. Was our Feelings Over Facts first annual mock draft. So tune in next week for the second annual Feelings Over Facts podcast mock draft right before the NFL draft happens. So very excited for that. But all right, take it easy, everyone. Good morning and good night.
Tell somebody you love them.